Good morning, SKN. It is Tuesday, December 6th, 2022, and our first year anniversary. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I am Cortenza Carty. You said it so lightly. It's our first year anniversary! Oh my God, with my high-pitched voice. I guess I didn't do. Happy anniversary, Studio 327. You have made it to one, and I wish you many more to come.
Wow, okay. I love how you personify Studio 327 in any event. It is our first year anniversary. We are grateful to be here. We're grateful that you are joining us for another edition of GMS Scan. On this lovely Tuesday morning, we proceed now to the latest in local news.
More than 200 HIV/AIDS cases in SKN. This from SKN Vibes. As the Federation joined the rest of the world to recognize World AIDS Day on December 1st, the Ministry of Health on Nevis has commended the strides made in the fight against the disease in the Federation. In her address to recognize the day, Nevis Island Administration Junior Health Minister Hazel Brandy Williams disclosed that there were 204 reported cases of persons with HIV in the Federation as of the end of 2021, underscoring the need for more work to be done to protect the most vulnerable within society from the virus. Brandy Williams explained, and quote, "Locally, we have made considerable progress on our journey to equalize in the fight to end AIDS, HIV. Testing services are offered for free in the public health setting. We have expanded the service with free rapid HIV testing at the Charlestown, Gingerland, and Combermere Health Centers, and the Health Promotion HIV Unit will be offering the service again shortly. Persons can also get their HIV status checked at the lab through referral from their doctor," end quote. Brandy Williams assured the public that the ministry would continue to implement policies such as continuous education on stigma reduction among all levels of healthcare workers, and will continue to strengthen our reporting mechanism for stigma and discrimination. Oh, so that's good. But 204, that's still a lot.
Well, you see, that's why I reserved comment, because I wasn't sure whether relative to other places 204 is actually good or bad. Perhaps we're looking at it in terms of percentage. Either way, the fact that the infrastructure is going to be in place for rapid testing, et cetera, means that we are making good strides. And that stigma reduction, discrimination, et cetera, that thrust for that is really important. Indeed. So glad that we're shedding light on this. All right, so we're moving on to the story from Win Media SKN. The Concerned Citizens Movement, CCM, and the Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, on Monday, December 5th, 2022, each nominated 5 candidates to contest the upcoming Nevis Island Assembly elections, slated for Monday, December 12th. The atmosphere on the grounds showed true party spirit and camaraderie by the candidates and supporters of the CCM and NRP as they moved from one nomination site to the other. Eligible persons on Nevis will be called upon to elect their most favored representatives to champion the cause of Nevisians for the next 5 years following the December 12 elections. 1 week remains, and it is expected that the campaign and political climate will intensify with the arrival of overseas voters. Attempts were made to contact the political leader of the Moral Restoration Movement, MRM, Samuel Keynes, for comment on nomination day, but weren't successful at newstime. It was reported previously that the MRM, who contested the federal election, would also contest the local election on Nevis. It is unclear whether the MRM or any independent candidates were duly nominated, but we await official word from the electoral office. Campaign is in swing.
I hope the pressures didn't get to MRM, so they're back to the last minute.
It's interesting, that paragraph that I read concerning the overseas voters coming in. I think there's always a little bit of angst when we talk about overseas voters, because if these are people who are not resident here typically and they come to vote and they can skew the election one way or the other, then there's that push and pull effect. But we'll see how this turns out.
Yes, because as we know, people normally say they don't live here, so they shouldn't be making decisions for us. But as Jamie said, let's wait and see. Quality of Sugar Mass 51 opening dub Wonderland sets tone for entire carnival season. This from Win Media SKN. A grand affair was held on Friday evening, December the 2nd, 2022, to mark the opening of the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Sugar Mass 51. Minister of Culture, the Honorable Samal Duggins, declared the festival open, followed by the ribbon cutting, Joining him to do the honors were Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, Ms. Valencia Sider, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Culture and Chairperson of the National Carnival Committee, Ms. Shannon Hawley. The grand opening of Sugar Mass Wonderland began with a parade through the streets of Bastia towards Carnival Village, where the opening concert was held. The event attracted scores of persons and online viewers, and from Win FM Collections, patrons were pleased with the quality of the opening event. The month-long festival, Sugar Mass 51, will come to an end on January 3rd, 2023, with the hosting of the Carnival Street Parade and Last Lap. Wow.
Wonderland.
Yes, and Talented Teen is sold out, so nobody else can get in. They have to make a bigger space and sell more tickets. My recommendation.
Your recommendation. All right, we'll see. We're moving on to a check of our local weather. It is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 80 degrees and a low of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently, it is 76 degrees. Take a look at your weekly and hourly forecast as we head to a break. More GM SKN on the other side.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes!
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
Welcome back to GMS Canada. It's time now for the latest in regional news. Government to spend $150 million on flood relief initiatives. This from Trinidad Guardian. The government yesterday agreed to make $50 million for flood relief available to farmers and citizens affected by the recent flooding disasters, plus $100 million for landslide and road reinstatement work. Among the funding, the government has allocated an immediate $40 million to the National Flood Relief Program. This was announced by the Office of the Prime Minister, OPM, following Thursday's cabinet meeting. Residents in areas across Trinidad and Tobago from north to south were affected by rains, which began last Friday and continued into Monday. The water has since receded, but El Socorro, Bamboo, and Manzanillo were still affected up until yesterday. The government had closely monitored the weather as it descended on Trinidad and Tobago last weekend, warning of the arrival aspects and effects. The Office of the Prime Minister had stated that all arms and agencies of the state were fully mobilized and on alert under Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's instruction and the monitoring guidance of a ministerial team involving local government works and national security. That is devastating, and I think that they generally have, flooding every few years, it seems.
Yeah,
This is
almost
really
every year. This is serious. Imagine just before Christmas.
Yeah, that's
They
also
can't
true.
enjoy themselves. They have to be cleaning up.
Well, thankfully, you've got $150 million allocated, so hopefully that goes a long way into recovery.
Indeed, indeed. On the international scene, Indonesia bans sex outside marriage as parliament passes sweeping new criminal code. This from CNN. Indonesian lawmakers unanimously passed a sweeping new criminal code that criminalizes sex outside marriage as part of a tranche of changes that critics say threaten human rights and freedoms in the Southeast Asian country. The new code, which also applies to foreign residents and tourists, bans cohabitation before marriage, apostasy, and provides punishment for insulting the president or expressing views counter to the national ideology. Lawmaker Bambang Waryanto said, and quote, all have agreed to ratify the draft changes into law, who led the parliamentary commission in charge of revising the colonial era code. The old code belongs to Dutch heritage and is no longer relevant, end quote. Indonesia's largest Muslim majority nation has recently seen a rise in religious convertism. Strict Islamic laws are already enforced in parts of the country, including the semi-autonomous H province, where alcohol and gambling are banned. Public floggings also occur in the region for various offenses, including homosexuality and adultery. The changes to the criminal code have alarmed human rights advocates who warned of their potential to stifle personal freedoms, and travel industry representatives who are worried about the potential effect of these laws on tourism.
That last sentence was actually one of my first thoughts, because when you read that part about it applying to no cohabitation applying to tourists,
Worse, nobody's going to
I
go.
thought, wow, well, does that affect the tourism product of Indonesia? And
Big
clearly
time.
that's one of the concerns for the locals on the ground, among others, because there seem to be several.
Because if the locals can be punished and the tourists are caught, I guess they can be punished too, because they are on Indonesian soil and they are to abide by Indonesian laws, right?
Precisely.
So you are correct. Nobody's going to go to Indonesia now.
This is why it's, well, I don't know if nobody's going to go. I just know if you go, you have to abide by
You have to be married, though.
Not necessarily. You can go, but you can't cohabitate. So you'd have to have separate rooms.
What if somebody forgets outside and decide to have a show PDA, and then since they're so strict,
I love
they
these
might
hypotheticals.
and they might be looking, and then they get into trouble. So why go in the first place if you know?
I think you answered your own question.
Exactly. So, yeah.
In any event,
Nothing
that's all
else
we have.
further.
That's all we have for the latest. There's your news, especially that one. Pay attention.
Yes.
If you're going to travel, we'll be back in a moment with more GMS SKN. Stay tuned.
It's carnival time in St. Kitts and Nevis. And we know you're going to be at the fete and parade, walking up a storm and getting bad. And of course, some of you may want to drink. But how much is too much? Think about it. You drink and then drive. And guess what? Bam! Accident. You might mash up your car and yourself or hit somebody. So hand over the keys when you know you can't even stand up. Plus, you can't think when you're drunk. Then you might wake up to this.
I'm too sexy for you anyway.
Or 9 months later, you got a big baby you can't even support. You know drinking too much can mash up your liver, right? Then you're up JNF dying of alcohol poisoning. Get the picture? Good. Enjoy yourself, you hear? But drink responsibly. This message was brought to you by the National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention.
You ever hear earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and support from Paris Lamont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. As this is our first anniversary, 1 full year, we brought you the latest awesome interview features, great guests, etc. There's a whole lot that we have to show you. So let's take a look at some of the interesting firsts over history.
Was he part of GMSCAN?
Yes, and we are back. Unfortunately, we're having a bit of a technical glitch, but we are happy that you're with us. As I was saying before, we've actually interviewed over 500 guests, if you can believe that, during our year on air, and we have some interesting clips to show you as we look back on history, but just reflecting for a moment as to what we've been able to do in this year. I need to ask you, Hortensia, what has your experience been? You've been here for about 9 months, right?
How did you know? Yeah. But my baby hasn't been birthed yet. You know, it's a 10-month pregnancy, so maybe next month. Yes. But it's been interesting. I would say that I would have grown tremendously. I've gotten accustomed to the environment. And as you said, I've met so many persons. I've learned so much. I would have realized that I had to relearn. I had to unlearn. So yes, there was a lot in the 9 months for me. And it's a continuous learning process. Things that I didn't know when I was back then years old, I learned today years old, and so forth and so forth. Yes.
All right.
What about you? You started the show. You got a whole year in.
There's no such thing as a star. Trust me on that. Everybody is what everybody is. And so here we go. We've got
He's playing it down. He's playing it down, guys.
Saved by the slide. Okay, so first animal in space. This is Laika. Laika became the first dog and animal to go into orbit on November 3rd, 1957. Tragically, the charming, quiet mongrel became the first animal to die in space as her ride, the Sputnik 2, was not engineered for re-entry. At least she got her own monument. I'm sorry, that's really not a trade-off that I would like.
No, a monument for my dad can't work because I can't enjoy the monument. So that means this sound like the spacecraft came apart?
Yeah,
since it was not built for re-entry. But was she the only thing in there, though?
That
when
I
I
don't
say
know.
thing, she... you think they were testing the dog in space?
When we interview somebody from NASA, we'll ask.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you see now? I learned this today years old, so you know when I'm done with this, what I'm gonna do, research to see if she had companions or he had companions, because I don't want to stereotype the gender of the dog. I thought it was a chimp was the first in space, but I guess it was a dog. The first cell phone call on April the 3rd, 1973, Motorola employee Martin Cooper made the first cell phone call in Manhattan to a colleague in New Jersey. His immortal first words, "I'm ringing you just to see if my calls sound good at your end." So can you hear me now? And nearly 50 years later, we're still yelling, "Can you hear me now?" Literally, I didn't even see that there.
So much for
Can
technology.
you hear me now?
So much for technology, for yelling, "Can you hear me now?" Yeah, we need to evolve. I'm sure we have.
T-Mobile made that
Different
famous.
respects. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
That was a shoe of a phone. Literally.
Imagine that was what first cell phones look like. Because I know a particular businessman that walked around with it, and I'm like, what is he doing with that in his hand? I just thought if anybody tried to attack him, he could just let it go, you know? Yeah.
That was a heavy thing.
But look at the phone booths too. People are waiting to use the phone booths. Now nobody want to use the poor phone booths,
Nah.
so they're obsolete.
I think it was a transition, really, because we were talking about cell phones, but before that, there were car phones, I imagine. And
Car phones?
Yeah, there were actual car phones, phones that were attached to your car. You could make calls from your car.
How early was that?
I'm not sure, but I know that the technology existed, so it made sense to have it. So you see the transition.
Oh, I thought
Because
car
now that you
phones
have-
was a recent thing.
Now that you have the cell phone, you can take it anywhere, so you don't need your car phone. You can just take your cell phone in the car.
Yeah.
So it makes that car phone
Bluetooth
obsolete.
to the car. Yeah. Boy.
All right, first television sitcom, and I do love myself a sitcom. The first TV sitcom, Pinwright's Progress, debuted on November 29, 1946 on the BBC and chronicled the adventures of the smallest store in the world. The first episode was about proprietor Jay Pinwright, his pretty daughter, and his arch nemesis, along with his helpful staff who only made things worse. I wonder if this is the one that I know.
How could they be helpful and made things worse? I don't understand. Helpful and worse don't go together.
No, they do when they get involved when they shouldn't. So,
How?
no, this is not the one that I know,
that's
but
not-
there's a similar
okay.
premise for the other one.
Okay, I don't know this sitcom. No.
It's interesting. I love sitcoms. And it premiered in black
I
and
know
white,
you like
clearly.
comedy.
Color television wasn't really a thing, so.
Boy, no color. But we made it work. First corporate sponsorship on television. On June 19, 1946, Gillette sponsored the broadcast of a boxing match between Joe Louis, or should I say Lewis? Joe Louis and Billy Corn, giving Gillette the dubious honor of becoming the first televised corporate sponsor. Wow, I wonder if they got an award for that. To be the first at something. It's a good
award
thing.
for being the first. They got their product into the viewership of
Yeah.
so many different people.
And
So,
probably into a lot of homes.
yeah.
Remember
So
when
that's the award in and of itself.
Yeah, boy. But Gillette has been around forever, though.
And we followed suit ever since.
Boy.
It's so normal now. All right, so the first author to earn $1 billion. Imagine you can earn $1 billion from writing something. For someone who wrote a villain so terrible, he literally couldn't be named. J.K. Rowling sure managed to write one of the most rather endearing fictional characters ever, Harry Potter. And all that writing earned her a lot of money, making her the first $1 billion author ever.
Imagine she passed up all the others. Like, what's his name? Stephen King? Is Stephen King?
Stephen King.
The big author, man.
Is he?
Is Stephen King?
I don't even know if Stephen writes books. That's the thing. I know about the films, but I don't know if they're
Okay, who is the big author for books? There's a big author for books.
There are lots of them.
Man, no, man, this one is big.
Okay.
This one has been around. Don't let me use my DT terms. This one was out there, always been. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. GMSK Nation, can you help me? I'm stumped right now.
You didn't give enough clues.
Oh gosh.
The big one. He's been around.
I don't think it's a him per se, and I think it's a her. I was actually surprised to know it was a her. All the time I thought it was a him.
What?
The author.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shucks me. I have to Google it during commercial. Yes. But GMSK Nation, if you know, link me in the comments. Ooh, the first roll of TP, the first roll of toilet paper. You can thank Joseph Gaetti for toilet paper. This modern sanitation miracle. In 1857, he invented the first toilet paper that was the precursor to the toilet paper used today. He named it medical paper and claimed it was the greatest necessity of the age. So what did they use before? Cloth and water? Newspapers? Grass?
You realize that I'm a TP kid, right? So I have no idea, Cordensia.
I'm trying to think what they used before they got toilet paper.
Well, this is something that a lot of people use today, so it was a great product to invent.
I wonder if his toilet paper was like refuse paper. I need to find. See, I need to Google this thing. Yes, I need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says perforated paper. So when you hear perforated paper, you think it can tear off. I'm trying to think here. Okay.
Grease-proof paper.
Yeah.
Quick, never mind. I don't even want to know what you're eating. All right. So the first person to reach both the North and South poles, Norwegian explorer Ronald Amundsen. Am I saying it right? Yes, well, let's call it that. One to go. Reached the South Pole in 1911 and then trekked to the North Pole in 1926, making him the first person to reach each pole and the first person to reach both poles. Good news, he set world records. Bad news, there was zero evidence of Santa Claus. Well, I don't know, it depends on where he was at the time. Perhaps Santa's really good at being mysterious, so it's quite possible that he was there but invisible at the time. Who knows?
Yeah, like a movie. Like you hide your lair. Yeah.
It's quite possible.
Look at that.
I don't know why Santa would choose the North Pole of all places to live, though. I mean,
don't you see how cuddly he is? He needs to keep tall. He needs to keep cool.
Needs to keep cool?
Cool,
really?
yeah.
It's amazing. I think Santa would prefer to vacation in some place like St. Kitts or Jamaica. Definitely
yeah,
so.
Man.
Maybe Hawaii.
Maybe that's why he stays within the cold. First book ever printed. In 440, Johannes Gutenberg invented the first printing press, allowing mass production and distribution of books for the first time. The first major book he published, the Bible, of course. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I remember reading about this in school. We called him Johann Gutenberg at the time, although, yeah, perhaps different variations. 1440, the printing press. And I think this was one of the, as you rightly said, it was a book, but it also led to the printing of maps and so on and navigation and helped that process, from what I understand. So that made discovery, quote unquote, of the Western world something that could be mapped very easily.
Wow. I wonder what his ancestors are doing today. I can Google that. Where are they now?
First video on YouTube. First video ever on YouTube with music videos, do-it-yourself tutorials, television shows, and pretty much everything else one could ever want to see and not see. It's all too easy to get sucked into watching YouTube. You'd never know it, though, from the first video ever uploaded on YouTube. On April 23rd, 2005, Meet Me at the Zoo went live. It's a scintillating 18 seconds of a boy explaining that elephants have long tusks. All right, that's such a cool video.
Okay.
Imagine. And it's 18. That's great. You know, my attention span is...
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. And the cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long fronts. And that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
I wonder how many views he has until now. So, I have to go and look for that, to look at his views. Yeah, I want to know. I have to dive deeper into these things. I need to know how many views he has, since he's the first. Did I tell you that there's a way you can watch videos on YouTube and make money?
I think they're watch videos on YouTube and make
just
money?
watch the videos and they pay you to watch the videos, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I have not bought the scheme because, I don't buy schemes, especially when it comes to money. The first baby conceived by in vitro fertilization, IVF, before modern fertility medicine. If things weren't working in the baby department, hopeful parents were left with, I guess, a prayer, sketchy procedures, and more than a few turbulent old wives' tales. Then on November the 10th, 1977, all of that changed when Leslie Brown was impregnated with an embryo through a new technique called in vitro fertilization. 9 months later, daughter Louis became the first baby born after IVF. Oh, nice.
All right. Things weren't working in the baby department? Talk about a euphemism. Baby department. Hello, is this a department store where babies are doing all the work?
Aww.
Not really.
I wonder if she's still around. Always around.
This picture was taken 18 hours after she was born.
Aww. Look at her little
Apparently,
cute face.
she was doing well.
Yeah.
Scientifically, this was probably one of those things that was debated religiously, morally, before it even became legal. So it's interesting how things change over time.
Yeah, but are you familiar with the process of IVF, though?
To some degree, not so much the science, but more the, dare I say, the legal aspects of how do you regulate things like that when they seemingly new procedures. So.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so this is where we leave you for the time being. We'll be back in a moment with more GMS Scan. Stay tuned.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said, when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes!
Mommy, uncle not here in the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school,
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see, Sammy?
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
Consuming foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans, such as lentils and kidney beans, contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
Yo, what up? It's your boy N Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Today we celebrate our first anniversary, and we are delighted to have two of this year's 25 Remarkable Teens, Malika Benjamin in the studio, who was awarded for academics and spiritual commitment, and Dominique Williams joining us via Zoom for youth activism. Good morning, ladies, and welcome to our first anniversary on Good Morning SKN. Oh my God, I'm excited.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
Dominique?
Good morning. I'm excited to be here.
When we are excited to have you both, and congratulations on your accomplishment as being two of the 25 Remarkable Teens here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So for many, being named a Remarkable Teen is a goal they have worked towards throughout the years. In this case, how does it feel for both of you that you were named Remarkable Teens?
It's definitely a big honor. Still getting used to all the congratulations that I see when I come across the road, but I still feel like myself, but it's a really, really good honor to be one of the Remarkable Teens.
You said you still feel like yourself. Did you expect after the nomination to change from Malika to somebody else?
No, but I don't know. I guess maybe all like the accolades and everything, it just, I still feel as if I felt like before all of the accolades.
Good stuff.
So you're grounded. And that's
very nice, humbled. Yeah. Dominique, what about you?
Same. The overwhelming congratulations is definitely something to get used to. I would say the same. I would say that it's not only an honor, but it was extremely humbling for me. Like being like sitting in that chair and hearing them, I guess, read your bio out loud. I think for me personally, it reminded me of everyone who, I guess, kind of like helped me get here. So the first thing I did actually when I, left the ceremony is that I would have like texted like my aunts and like one of my past mentors, because I would have felt so, I guess, immensely grateful for like everything everyone has done to like, I guess, help me get to this point. I feel like this award is as much an award for like them and the hard work that they've, I guess, invested in me.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, Dominique. And I want to follow up with you on that, because in terms of mentorship, what specifically did your mentor do or mentors do that informed who you are today?
I think mentorship is very important. And for the mentor in particular, who I would have, I guess, thanked immediately after, his name is Mr. Edinburgh. He would have worked in the National ICT Center, and he would have also been a past Nigerian. And so as a mentor, he did a lot to, I guess, connect me with opportunities, but then he would have also, I guess, just like told me about his experiences, I guess, let me know almost that there are like more things out there, for example. So, when I was just getting started in like, I guess, technology and like programming, letting me know that there are like different aspects to it, like how, local persons are able to like study and like apply like technology to like our own setting. And I think most of all, like kind of like having someone to like hear you and I guess like, I think treat seriously, but like at the same time, like someone who is invested in like seeing you succeed. I think that's very important for like everyone to have.
And your mentor, Fitzroy Edinburgh?
Mm-hmm.
I know him quite well, yes, right.
Okay. So the areas that you ladies were awarded in, did they come as a surprise for you? I'll start with Malika.
No, because I guess when I look at my life and I think about it, I've always been an academic person, so it's not a surprise to me that that's what they gave me the award for. Spiritual commitment. Well, the spiritual commitment one was a surprise, because I thought they only gave you like one award per thing, but they combined it surprisingly, so it was definitely a surprise to get that one. But it's true for all the measure.
And we know that in today's society, being spiritual committed is not a hype thing. So that's a good thing to be awarded for. And Dominique, what about you?
I think I was just a little surprised, I guess, because I usually, I guess, associate like activism with, I guess, being more out there. Like you have to be a public figure, you have to be like boots on the ground, like working hard. And I mean, I do consider myself kind of like an advocate when it comes to, I guess, youth issues and climate change especially. And so I think, I guess, having other people realize that that's something I'm passionate about and very vocal about was kind of surprising, but also inspiring, because it's letting me know that my voice is heard in the different, I guess, avenues. And so I guess inspiring me to continue, I guess, advocating for the things that I care deeply about.
Right. Malika, I need a little more information from you. I understand the academics part of the award, but the spiritual commitment. Explain your work in that field and why you were recognized for that.
Okay, so the spiritual commitment is definitely something that is important to me in my life. It basically forms the foundation for everything that I do, even though I like not to think of it as just like a segment of my life, but a part of my life that drives all the other aspects of it. So with that as the foundation, it allows me to excel in all the other areas, because now it wasn't always something that was as important to me, but definitely within the past like 2 to 3 years, it became like super duper important to me. And I basically like now find it as like the major priority. And I'm more involved in church. I definitely use it a lot more like to express my faith, and I'm a lot more like confident in doing that now. So yeah.
So around your friends, how do you feel, or how do you express, or how do you try to get them to know the spiritual being that you know too?
I don't force anything on anybody. All I can do is just start with myself, essentially, and whatever impact I hope to leave on them, I hope that they could see that it's not because of myself, it's not because of anything, but because they feel it's what God put inside of me, and I'm just here to benefit you all.
So lead by example. I love that. I love that.
All right, so Dominique, we're going to focus on you again. Very surprised here that you wrote and passed 7 subjects even before entering Form 5. I'm like, why did you go to Form 5 after all? In any event, congratulations on that. Great accomplishment. So was that always your goal, to write that many subjects before 5th Form?
Definitely wasn't my goal. It was more of something that happened. as I'm thinking back on it now, I can't even quite remember how that happened. I would have sat three in third form and I guess got grade one passes. And I was considering doing more in fourth form. And if I'm remembering correctly, that was about when I guess the pandemic kind of hit. And unfortunately, some areas of like school life were, I guess, kind of struggling to get back to normal. And so then I guess I had that privilege where, worried about like what my education would look like, maybe using these classes to, I guess, help support like what is being learned in the classroom. And then in the end, just deciding to sit the subjects and then passed again in fourth form. This would have been four subjects. And I think that doing them early would have not only been a benefit to me, but also some of my peers having seen the material, I guess, early at clock or like ahead of time would have allowed me to tutor like some of my classmates, which I used to do in third and fourth form. And definitely was not something I planned to do, but it was something that kind of, I guess, happened. And so, I guess I'm very happy with the results.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah,
It's definitely a great accomplishment, Dominic. I'm very proud of you.
Thank
you. So Malika, tell us about your participation in the Basse High School Interact Club. I've never heard of that club though. And how has it played a role in your development today?
In the Interact Club, I started out as just being a member. I wasn't originally going to join, but I was just like, okay, a club is extracurriculars, let me try and take part in it. And we focused a lot on community outreach and helping others. Okay. And after being around, I worked a lot with like Mariel and all those people. And we definitely got to see like how we could make a change in our communities. So after doing that, I served on the board as secretary. I didn't want to be the president at the time, but I got to be more on hand with the exec and learn more on how to plan and how to design these kinds of things and just how we could just impact the communities more.
Nice. So when I get young people on the show, I normally like to ask of their future endeavors. So do you intend to enter a Queen show, and what minister of government do you intend to be?
Minister of government?
Yes. Future. No politics for you?
No.
And no Queen shows for you?
I always thought about it, but I was just like, I don't know if I would be a passionate person.
Ooh, you look the part to me. Dominic, can I ask you the same question? That's my fun question when I get young people on the show.
You're surprisingly not the first person who has in recent time asked me if I'm joining a pageant. I don't think so, not in the near future anyway.
Okay, I tried.
All right, so
maybe
Dominic,
I can still be convinced.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Maybe you can still?
Maybe I can still be convinced.
Okay, and what about politics? No? Okay, I tried today. I tried.
Well, let's talk about something that you're actually good at and interested in, Dominic. And by the way, I'm fascinated to know that you are a wildcat.
Oh.
You are a Washi wildcat. Okay, so we have that in common. Awesome. And you were also part of the Washington Archibald High School's Junior Achievers group and won Title Company of the Year in St. Kitts. Tell us about that.
Okay, this is probably one of the most fun experiences that I've ever, I guess, had. I'm not sure if it's active right now, but I think it's definitely something that should come back and that as many students as possible should be a part of. So junior achievement, I'm not sure how many people are familiar with it, so I'll just give a brief rundown. You basically have to build a company from scratch. You come together, you figure out roles. So for example, I was the VP of IT, very fitting at the time. And there's like a VP of marketing, of finance, and then you come together with a business idea, then you create a business plan. And then how it works in St. Kitts is that there are various checkpoint competitions. So then we had a pitch competition where we had to basically pitch our competition. And then we had a mock stock exchange, and then we had to like run our business, create the products, sell them, do up like financial statements. And I think that's very important for persons just to, I guess, learn like financial literacy. Like St. Kitts is a very entrepreneurial, I guess, like country and community. I feel like this kind of like gives like a formal like structure to probably what a lot of my own peers are doing in running their own businesses. And I think that this is also helpful because kind of like sees you how these things like level up and like the more business side of like I guess like the very like business management side of like running a company. And so then we were able to win the company of the year in St. Kitts. Our company was called Salvage Designs, and we made cute furniture out of reusable after we from used tires. So it was a recycled product. And then we were able to go to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic to represent St. Kitts with probably about 30 or 20 other countries, or about 20 other countries from Latin America. So that was very exciting.
It definitely sounds exciting. Just a follow-up question for you. Mrs. Elliott, is she still involved in that program when you were there?
When I was there, yes, she was.
I know that
Did
she
you do
works
Junior
very hard.
Achievement?
Yes, I know that she worked very hard with the Junior Achievers as well as others, so great to see that you had that experience with her.
Look at the Wildcat guys. Look at the Wildcat guys. So Dominic, along the lines, you spoke about using recycled material to make your furniture. I noticed that you're an advocate, and you would have touched on that earlier, for sustainable development, climate issues, and food security. What motivated this passion?
I think that is definitely something that should be on the mind of every person living in the Caribbean. So a lot of, I guess, the focus of my advocacy basically is that, you know, being in the region that we are, St. Kitts and Nevis, and the rest of the Caribbean, the OACS, CARICOM, will be disproportionately affected by climate change. I think because the, I guess, narrative about climate change is so dominated by like the global north. It's like, oh, melting ice caps, rising ocean levels. But these are things that probably in our mind won't really affect us. But then if you, I guess, kind of equate it to the drought that we've been having, the massive hurricanes that have been battering our region like almost year after year, the shrinking coral reefs and therefore shrinking like food supply for like our fisheries industries. Like these are things that we all experience. Like nobody in St. Kitts has not had an experience when it comes to like water shortages or whatever. And that's just the fact that, you know, the world is getting harder. The fossil fuel emissions that we're not producing because we're tiny and we're like, but a speck in like the whole, I guess, emissions outputs, it will still come back to affect us. And I think that by focusing on this, it allows us to, I guess, think more critically in like how we're able to like develop our nation. I feel like we're in a time where like, I guess we can make that kind of shift, or we can like make it a priority to, I guess, put sustainable development first. So, like as we're building our country, you know, we're thinking about, well, you know, how are we going to, I guess, create systems that are water efficient? How are we going to create systems that are disaster resilient? And I think that's, I would have also worked with like CCRE, the CARICOM Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, and learning that, you know, we have the capabilities for, for renewable energy, but then what we lack is the finance. And so then like pinpointing those problems and like how that could be solved is something else that I'm really passionate about, and is probably considering like doing or like work them continuing in the future.
It'll be great to see that. I mean, listening to you both, I sense this wealth of experience that far exceeds your years.
Yes.
So I'm eager to continue the second part of this interview, which we will do in a moment. More GMSKN in a flash. Stay tuned.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We're speaking with two of the 25 most remarkable teens this year, Malika Benjamin and Dominique Williams. Very fascinating discussion. And during the break, actually, I'm going to lead with you, Dominique, because you piqued my interest with your two unpublished books. And I want you very quickly to give the audience some insight into what those two books are about. And you already know which one is my favorite, by the way, so a little more information on that one. What do you have to tell the public about those books?
Okay, I'll just be kind of brief. I like fiction. I read a lot as a child. And so then the first book I would have written was like when I was first getting into, I guess, learning about climate change and then experiencing what some people call climate anxiety, which is a feeling of not being able to do anything. So in that frustration, I would have written a sci-fi novel that's basically, humanity has destroyed Earth and now has to move to Mars. But then at the same time, Earth is the only home that people have ever really known. So is it possible for you to leave that behind? And so that's kind of the question that's grappled with in the book. If we leave behind Earth, are we also leaving behind part of our humanity, our culture, our languages? And then I feel the next book I wrote was, I guess, a little more local, where I was trying to, I guess, write about the stories that I hear in my own community. So very centered on Caribbean voices, specifically Kittitian voices. But then also trying to, I guess, capture different elements of it. So it focuses on a relationship between a mother and a daughter, between friends who grew apart. Between two persons who become new friends. And I'm still writing that one. It's mostly completed, but I think if I ever publish either of the two, it might be that one.
Aww. Jamie, you'll have to wait for that sci-fi.
I'm just going to wait for the sci-fi. That's all. We're all going to wait for the sci-fi, but...
Malika, valedictorian, Basse High School. And well, I could not have predicted this career. You want to be a dermatologist. Yes. Why? For a big part of my life, I spent a lot of time thinking, and everyone was like, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? And I was just like, I don't know. And they kept stressing me about it, and I had to sit down for a really long time. I was like, okay, I'm good at science. I like sciences. Science is interesting. But I don't want to be just a person that says, oh, I want to be a doctor. Because what kind of doctor do you want to be? So I started taking interest in the skin and how the skin operates, and I kind of like beauty, so it's kind of a passion of mine. So I thought going into dermatology, into the skin, mind you, it's one of the hardest specialties, but I mean, I think that I could do it.
Okay. So have you used your science to develop any skin products just yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay. But working on it?
Maybe. It could be a future project.
We're pressuring you somehow. I hope not.
One thing
I hope not. But congratulations again on being the valedictorian of Basse High School.
Well, Malika, you're also a talented artist. So which art forms do you enjoy?
I try a little bit of everything, honestly. My most recent is poetry and painting, which I've taken a liking to painting, even though I've drawn all my life, and I've done more work with like colored pencils and more like traditional art. I haven't gotten into digital media yet. I might take a footstep into that, but I do. I even like crochet, so anything artsy, creative, I've touched my foot in, basically.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to ask you because we know that Dominique has unpublished books, so the public doesn't really know about them. Your work as an artist, how many people know about them? Have you shared your work?
I feel like more if you connected to me family-wise and you've seen some of the stuff that I do. I even have a painting hung up here in the office with dragonfly. I don't know if you guys know that. But
Are you serious?
Oh, I do.
Oh, this is the artist behind that painting.
Can somebody get me that painting? I want to hold it in my hand. I'm serious. Can somebody, like, if you can take it off the wall and bring it, I think our viewers need to see it. So, can somebody please bring me that painting? You're not going to be off the hook, okay? Not yet.
Keep asking me if I have a business or anything. No, because I feel like if I start one, then I have to be committed to it. And if I get too overwhelmed, I kind of tend to, like, back away from your academics. So.
Oh, okay.
But I'll get around to it.
Well, at least you have more than one thing to fall back on eventually.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So when you're extra stressed, is that when you produce your art, or you just produce art?
Art for me is something like that comes out on a whim. If I try too hard to do it, then it just doesn't come out right. And sometimes I found that if I thought about it too much, then the artwork made me even more stressed. So I try to not think about it as hard and not make it like as pressure. Because it's supposed to be stress relieving. So.
It is, indeed.
Well, very fascinating. Dominique, we are back to you. 2022 Yale Young Global Scholars Program, you were part of that. Tell us about that.
Yes, so that was an incredible experience. Unfortunately, because of COVID, it was online. It's back in person this year. And traditionally, what would have happened is that I would have gone to the Yale campus and experienced teaching from Yale alumni. But in this program, it was still as rewarding. So there's, I think, there's four different programs that you can take. There's one based on science, one based on law and politics, one based on art, culture, literature, and the one that I did, which is called Solving Global Challenges. And basically that's like an interdisciplinary approach to social justice issues, to climate change, of course. And I guess it also has like measures of like international collaboration as well. And it's not as content-based as it is like analytical-based. So kind of like you're looking at a problem, but it's not necessarily you're memorizing, like, what is this problem, or memorizing solutions to it. It's more like discussing with peers, like, this is something that is being faced. How are ways that we can approach it? How are ways that other people have approached it as well? And being, I guess, a global scholar, like being in a digital classroom with persons from India, with persons from Canada, with a person from China who had to wake up in the middle of the night every day to join the session, definitely would have like broadened, I guess, like the perspectives of like the conversations, but then also being sometimes the only being the only Caribbean person in the room, and probably the only small island person, only Kiddishan person in the entire program, that definitely lent a unique voice to, I guess, the perspectives, especially when they did come to things that I'm passionate about, such as, climate change, or I guess the ways in which, I guess, like colonization has like impacted like the region.
It seems like that program is very rewarding, and I like that because it put you in a position where, as you rightly said, you weren't just memorizing things, you were actually trying to solve difficult problems, appreciating that there are no easy answers. So collaboration, understanding, listening to people, sharing your perspectives, all very important things.
Yeah. I want to know, being two of the 25 most remarkable teens, how do you ladies manage to stay grounded? And what do you do? You wear so many hats. How do you manage all of these hats? And how do you do your downtime? Dominique?
Okay. I'll answer the first question first, which is how to stay grounded. I'm so immensely honored to have been, I guess, selected and awarded um, with this prize. I feel like to me, the greatest thing that I'm getting out of it is almost like this is, I guess, a sign like, good job, keep going. Almost, I feel like for more than anything, like this has not been like a, oh, it's time to rest now. You've made it this far. This is more like this is just the beginning. Like you now have so much more to do, I guess, kind of like to live up to, I guess, the esteem of the prize. And so I feel like I'm inspired, but also excited to kind of like continue just doing everything that would have gotten me this far. And then it is important to rest. It is important to balance everything. It is important to take care of yourself first and foremost, because you can't pour from an empty jug. So for me personally, I like, similar to Malika, I like to write poetry in my downtime. I like to write in general in my downtime. But then also I say that it's important for you to select things that are like rewarding to you, for example. So whenever I'm like in meetings or, doing projects like related to like the stuff that I'm advocating for, it doesn't feel as tiring or as draining as, for example, spending 2 hours on my homework assignments. I feel like for you to, I guess, feel like balanced and grounded within yourself, it's important for you to dedicate your time to things that you find rewarding and healing to you.
Okay, I guess it's my turn now.
Yes.
Okay, I kind of find a lot of the same sentiments with Dominique in finding stuff that you like to enjoy. I do art, I do poetry. I'm really happy to hear that you're a poet now, so we could share that interest together. I feel like I put a lot of my emotions and stuff into poetry, especially when I get really, really stressed.
Okay.
And just in reading them, and in this staying grounded part, it's a good like milestone to look back on and see, okay, this was my mindset in this moment, this was my mindset in that moment. But definitely it is an honor to be one of the most remarkable teens. And as Dominique said, it's just a stepping stone. You don't stop here. It's just one of the checkpoints to like even greater stuff.
Yes.
I love that.
Go ahead, Judy. Go ahead.
I love that you said it's a checkpoint. It was just a comment. But Hortensia, please continue.
No, I was just going to ask, how do you manage your time since you do so much?
I'm a person that writes everything down. I love taking notes. I always have a notebook with me. I even like made sure like I got a note phone, so every single time I have everything like penciled down like by the hour. I make sure that I don't miss anything. Make sure I put everything in a calendar. I'm very organized. It's very. I have to be.
You have to be. That's it. That's one of the things
be.
that's remarkable about you. Got you
And
thus
Dominique
far.
agrees.
Right. All right. So Dominique, interesting stuff here. You are in boarding school.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us about that experience?
Okay. So coming out of the pandemic, I guess, having done, I guess, a couple of subjects already, I guess it was kind of, looking to see like what else exists, and having a few relatives who lived in the US. I guess boarding school was something on their radar that might not exist on the radar of many of the persons, I guess, just like in our own communities. And so it would have been an opportunity I just tried for. I would have applied to the school I'm currently attending and then been awarded a full scholarship to attend. Thank you. And I feel like it's just, I guess, a very enriching experience. This is also a school that's very international. It's very rigorous. The academics here are some of the hardest in the country, but then there are also a lot of, I guess, opportunities for me to explore my passions, but also my existing passions, but also new passions. And so I think also the skills that I've learned and are developing here are definitely some that are like unmatched. And I think that it's important as well for me to get these experiences here so that, when I do eventually return home to St. Kitts, it would give me an additional perspective for me to add. For example, even when I'm talking to my sisters, I think it's important, something that, being at home in St. Kitts would have taught me is how to make opportunities where they probably don't exist. Whereas here, there are a lot more resources. So I think here I'm kind of learning, well, how do you maximize, resources that do already exist?
I have to say, I'm fast forwarding. Not that I want to rush you through your experience, but I'm fast forwarding to that time when you actually do return to St. Kitts and Nevis and you implement some of what you've learned, because I think that would be the most interesting experience ever and most rewarding for you and the people around you. Similarly, Malika, when you get into the field of dermatology and you begin to make that difference on another level, I think that would be even more rewarding.
I like that Dominique said come back. Like she emphasized that, because I feel like a lot of times we have a lot of experiences, we maximize on the opportunities, and we don't ever come back to invest it in the country that we come from. So it's nice. Otherwise, then the country kind of stays how it is, and there's no upgrading, there's no development.
Wow, there's so much brilliance.
I know, why is it the years?
So much experience here.
Yes.
It's just an honor to be interacting with you
Indeed
two,
it was.
honestly. I feel so blessed to be in your company. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Indeed. Congratulations again to you both.
Thank you, honestly.
And we look forward to many more interviews with you. So anything that you would have developed, including those 2 books, including the sci-fi one that you're going to write just or publish just for Jamie, you can always call us up here at GMS Scan. So thank you, ladies, once again for being part of our first anniversary show.
Thanks for having us.
GMS Scan, you're welcome. Dominique and Malika. Much more after this break. Stay tuned.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what really happened. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The reason Mom and Dad fight, when are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
I'm going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who can support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen? Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao bango!
It's time for us to loosen up. And apparently, I was told that it's our 1-year anniversary.
He said
I don't feel any older
he
than I
started it, y'all. He
I don't
started
feel
it.
any older than I was when we started, so hey.
Oh, wow.
It is what it is, right? Anyway, earlier today we spoke about some historic firsts from around the world, and in this segment we'll also be speaking about our firsts. Wow. Well, because you guys really care about our first day of school. I see this.
I don't remember
love this.
my
I
first
appreciate
day
it.
of school.
I don't remember either, except that I was in tears because I wanted to be at home.
You mean our first day of kindergarten?
It says school, so this is me schooling, the very first day of school.
I can only remember the first day of school at secondary school where me and the girls, we had a falling out. And me and those girls ended up being best of friends. I guess because they came from one school and I came from the other school, and we weren't gelling. And we hated each other for no reasons. Wow, those girls are my friends up to today. At least the two of them that wanted to get me.
So
my best friend and the other
you
one's
had girl
my very
fights
good
for
friend.
apparently no reason because it's what girls do. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, until you get to know the other.
Wow.
You know how that works. They'd be like, oh my God, she's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, first day of school. Okay, we've grown up now. We've gone past the first day of school.
Yeah.
Academy, all right. Let's go on.
You've gone far back. Oh, my first best friend is still my best friend.
Nice.
Because my other first best friend died in a car.
Ooh, sorry.
A bad car accident when I was little young.
Sorry.
So my best friend, which was my fallout friend, still my best friend.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
pretty
literally.
cool. Yeah, I had some cool best friends. Your brother-in-law was actually one of my first best friends.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, Dana.
So y'all are still
yeah.
best friends? Oh,
We're not in the same place, but we're still
okay.
cool friends. You know, you're
Okay,
friends
nice,
that you're
nice,
friends with regardless of how often you talk or how many times you see the person or whatever. So it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But necessarily you don't have to speak to your best friends because there's one friend. We do not have to speak every day. But when we meet up, it's trouble. And even when we do speak, we don't ever feel like, oh, you're neglecting me or whatever, because we know how life works. And trust me, your best friend should be the person that you have to speak to every day, because then it adds pressure to you.
Really?
Yeah, it adds pressure. You have so much going on, and then so much more is expected from you. You feel overwhelmed.
Okay.
I'm speaking my truth. I don't know about my co-host.
Well, hey. That's what it is. First pet. Yeah, we're moving on. First pet, right?
Did you
First
say
pet.
ha 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 ha?
First pet. No, I didn't. First pet.
Oh my god.
My first pet was a dog named Puggy. Yes, don't ask. My mom named her
Puggy?
Puggy.
She was fat?
No, I don't know why she named her that. I have no idea why she named her that. Puggy. Puggy was the dog that got run over by a car.
Aww.
And nobody believed me because she was following me on my way to academy, and it went back home by itself. Followed me past the electricity building. I was actually in Macnine at the time. I was supposed to turn down one of the roads, and it got knocked down right there. And then it went back home, and nobody believed me that it did. I was like, the dog got run over by somebody's tire, and then it, went back home.
Where were you living at that time?
I was living in Shirlene, so it followed me that far. And then it went back, and it's like, hey, this is what
So
it
it
is.
died at home.
It didn't die, Cortensia. It went back home, and it was fine.
But
when
you
I
said
got
it
back
got run
home,
over.
and it did. It was crossing the road. I was trying to get it to go back, and it was following me all the way. I mean, dogs are good with directions, so it really didn't need me to do that. But I didn't want it to follow me to school. I mean, who wants to have a pet follow you to school at that point? So it wouldn't have been allowed to come in anyway. So I was just trying to keep it safe.
Now bring your pet to school day. I don't remember having a pet. I think my mom's was very particular about pets. I had my first pet when I was an adult, or maybe not too adultish, maybe 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was that pet?
It's a dog, and we named him Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
There's
We
only one
love
Cortensia.
Scooby-Doo.
There's only one Cortensia.
Listen,
Sorry.
well, we had the second Scooby-Doo, or maybe the third, or maybe the 100th, because I'm sure we're not the only persons that named our dog Scooby-Doo in hopes that he was like Scooby-Doo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Yes, yeah. So I didn't have a puggy like Jamie back in primary school days. No, no pets for me. Yeah.
Puggy.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Yeah, never name a dog Puggy. All right, so first time driving. First time driving.
You guys want to know a story? Or hear a story, I should say. Not know a story. But then if you hear it, then you'll know the story. So here we go. So Jamie, do you want to talk about your first time?
My first time driving was actually cool. I had a driving instructor by the name of Elvis McCoy who took me out in a standard vehicle, wanted to learn to drive. And he said my steering was so good that he took me back to town. I drove myself back to the bus stop. We were in Frigate Bay, and we were driving in those residential areas where there was not a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And he literally said to me, he said, you know what? Your steering is actually very good. Drive back to town. That was my first experience driving.
Did you ever cut out?
Did I cut out? I think I cut out maybe once or twice, maybe about 3 times in total. But I was actually very good at reversing and so on and fixing the gear. I don't know, I just love standards, so it's fine. I never really had that issue except when the guy was in the car, and after not doing it for months, I cut out because he was in the car. The police officer in the back, it's like nervous energy. It's like, man, really, why now? Why now?
So guys, here's my story. I had to go twice for my license. And do you know why? Because every time I went, the officer was either not satisfied with something, and guess what? I kept getting different officers. And yes, I vied for a standard license. I didn't want to go the easy way. So I do have a standard license. But I cut out a few times on the hill. I rolled back a few times. You know, I had a little tough time. But yeah, she has a license and she was 22. So that's it. That's a very good thing, But yeah. Yeah. But why did we have life so hard? I say that to say, why did we have to learn to drive in the small street? Does anybody do exams in those tiny streets anymore?
Listen.
And with a standard friend, you felt my pain?
No, that's good that you learned to drive there, because the way that some vehicles are parked on the road and pedestrians just stepping out, you've got to learn how to navigate these things. And literally, it's simulated.
I don't think I could take my Jeep now in the small streets. I would probably drive over everything.
Yeah, well, you can try it.
I've not
It's yours,
practiced
so you
that,
can
but
fix it when you're done.
This is not cartoon. This is real life. I'm not
yours.
trying to spend unnecessary money.
Yeah,
But yeah.
we learned to drive before there were things like backup cameras and sensors and all these things. We literally had to learn to drive.
Jeez.
I reverse with my mirrors. I don't look back generally because I don't like to do
Even
that.
though I have a camera in my vehicle, people probably say, she gotta be crazy. I'm always looking back.
Okay.
Always looking back, then look at the camera, then look back again.
I was in awe of people like you. I'm like, how are you guys doing that? I literally just looked in my rear view mirrors. I'm parallel parking. I'm saying, okay, I've cleared, and I'm looking in my rear view, my side view mirrors to back up. I don't do the one arm over thing really. Nah, not me at all.
One arm thing are you talking about?
What one arm thing are you talking about?
Well, obviously, if you're in your car and you drive a lefty, so you're going to be like this, and then you're looking back that way, right, to go.
No, because lefty looks back left.
What the crap?
Yeah, because I'm just good.
You're looking back, not in the middle of your vehicle, Cortez.
No, I'm looking on
wow, okay.
Yo, I'm looking on the left. Yeah. And I cannot go back to driving a right-hand car, huh? When I drive a right-hand car, I feel like an invalid now.
Wow.
I so love the left life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. What about your first job?
My first job. I remember I was about, oh my gosh, I was probably 13 or 14. I worked in a supermarket. Packing shelves and doing oddsies.
Okay.
Mopping the floor, etc., etc., etc.
Cool.
Shopwise, actually.
Oh, nice.
Shopwise?
Yeah, of course I do.
Because I live just across the road. Yeah,
Shopwise is shop dead. It's abandoned. It looks, it needs,
Listen, all the things that we grew up in are no more.
Well, that's all part of decaying. Anyway, my first job was teaching, I guess. Yes, not I guess. It was
So you
teaching.
never did jobs as a teenager to make your own money?
I'm sorry, what was that called?
Oh
money?
Wow. I want to be like
own money?
Own
Okay, here we go.
monies.
Yeah.
No, never made your own monies. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't work here. I did filing and stuff when I was on vacation.
The privileged
And
child.
delivery. I played delivery boy. Privileged child. Hello, who's that?
You didn't have to work.
I'm looking around here.
No, I wanted to work because I wanted my own money. Because, guys, I wanted to buy my own Kipling bag. And then that dream was dashed because of something that happened. So I never got my bag. But you know, when I left school, guys, I swear I own a bunch of Kiplings that I don't even use now. I just indulge in buying me so many of them.
Yeah.
Once one came out, I got it.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing
For
a big
me,
one, though. For some
it's
reason.
never been about quantity. It's always been about quality. So I still have, and I think I mentioned it before, I still have my high school bag that I got.
I don't even know what that is.
Was I 16? I think I probably was 14 because I was 14 in, I don't want to lie about anything at all. So 14 to 15 in fourth form, 15 to 16 in fifth form. So probably about 14. But yeah, it was.
What bag? What's the brand of your bag?
Eurosport. It was a waterproof bag. I still have it, and I still have my leather bag that I got 2 years later to go to the Clarence to Brand College because you needed to match the shoes, right? So the shoes were like shiny leather, black. So I got this black leather bag. Still have it.
Go, guy.
It's not about the quantity.
It's all about the quality. All right, fair enough.
First mobile phone, Motorola. Oh yeah, I remember that. I think I threw it out the other day. Yeah. I don't remember the model, but I threw it out the other day.
Was this the silver one with the little antenna sticking out?
It was a black one with the silver face and the antenna, the little antenna sticking out. It was like a palm held thing. Yeah, very small.
Okay. Yeah, I had a. Oh, now that you say that, I think I had a Motorola because I was the last in my family to get a cellular phone. Because guys, I was anti-technology.
Anti-technology.
Yeah.
All right.
She was anti-technology, so that was the last. I was the last to get a phone. So I think but I want to think it was a big chunky black Nokia. I think it was a Nokia, and then it was a Motorola. Yeah.
Ha.
Yeah. I don't even know what those things are in the garbage.
Wow, there you go.
Oh
exactly.
my god.
That was so many years ago. Now people
really
change
didn't keep
phones
much.
every.
Yeah.
Change phones like you change toilet paper. All right. I'm just trying to link the segments here, okay? Don't blame me. You talked about toilet paper before.
First movie I ever watched, Too Fast, Too Furious. Well, if that means going to the movies.
No, it's your first movie.
The first time I went to the movie, you want to know how old I was?
How old?
23.
Oh, cool.
That's not cool. That's
Why is that not cool?
deprived of your years as a teenager to go
Are
to
you
movies.
kidding?
Do you know why? Because my mom taught when people go to the movies. My mom's gonna, I'm grown, I can't get lashes anymore. She's gonna be like, this child's always blaming me for something. But it's the truth. She taught when you go to the movies, yeah.
I'm still waiting for that.
So the first time I went to the movies, I was down in the hole.
I'm sorry, did anybody else get the punchline? I'm waiting for the punchline. You set it up, and I'm like, we're just hanging. It's like a helium balloon. It's not grounded. It's just
Guys, I
Float
was
away.
in the hole. What do we call it? The pit? The cinema that's on Bay Road. That cinema. Yeah, so I was in the hole. I was Too Fast, Too Furious,
You
and
called it the pit?
I felt like a big, as we would say, dumbass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I finally got to go to the movies at 23. What a life, huh?
Wow.
What a life.
I don't remember the first movie I watched. You know what? It wasn't the first movie I watched, but it was one that stood out to me, and my mom would laugh if I were to say this. I was 6 years old in Canada. The Princess Bride was on television, and the character, the short guy who had the most annoying voice, I do not remember his real name, but he was just annoying, right? He's got this really annoying voice, and he said, somebody did something, I don't know, I think Andre the Giant was in that one, but somebody did something, and he said, it's inconceivable. And I felt so proud that I understood what inconceivable was. I burst out, Mom, he used my word! Inconceivable, he used my word! And I was just so excited about his using my word. Inconceivable. Imagine I had a word. I created it.
Jamie had a word. He had a word. He had a word.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Explains why I loved words. And then I started watching other things to learn words. Or at least I would read the dictionary with them.
Yeah.
Told you that. So, hey. Yeah, lover of words. Imagine that.
And you still are. Your first travel experience. Where did you go?
Apparently I went to Puerto Rico when I was like 1. I went to St. Croix when I couldn't remember anything.
So how did you manage to remember the 1 year experience?
I don't remember that. I said apparently I went.
Oh,
that's what I was told.
Okay, so you were told that you were taken.
Yeah, I was told that I was taken.
Yeah. I remember my first travel experience. We were so excited. I think I was about 10. And we jumped up on the bed all night till I think my mom came in and threw some lashes. But we got accustomed to deflecting on the lashes that me and my sister share one bed because you're little then. So we would all like climb up on the side of the wall and be like, ow, ow, ow. And we didn't get to know, like, mother, thank God she doesn't watch.
Are you sure?
She'd be like, this child is just putting the blame on me, but it's true. Because we're going on the Iron Bird and we're jumping up on the bed. No, we're not supposed to jump up on the bed, right? We're excited. So our first trip was from Ghana to Tortola. We were going to see our dad because our dad lived overseas while we had continued to live there until we moved with them. But yeah, we were like super excited. We hardly slept. We stayed up for that whole trip. And getting to Tortola is not until the night. So we would have started since early morning, and then we had to drive to Tamari Airport. Now Ghana has a separate airport that's closer to town. That didn't exist when I was young. As I said, when I was young, life was hard because you have to wake up so early to get the taxi to go all the way up to, Timbuktu to catch the plane. So yeah, but that was my first travel experience with some lashes before we left, yes. But we didn't get it. We didn't feel anything. We were just making the sound so that our mom can leave us. And we were holding our pillows as our buffers.
Yeah. Yeah. Pillows as buffers. Okay.
Because we developed the art of deflecting lashes. Me and my sisters. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what we're going to do now? We have some bumpers from our two of our previous guests, rather. Yes, I need to read that correctly. From 2 of our previous guests. So take a look at that. We'll be back in a moment.
Good morning, SKN and Studio 327. This is Tao Batiste, one of your biggest fans, just reaching out to wish you a happy first anniversary. You're doing a lot of things well. Keep on that trajectory. Greatness. I really enjoy tuning in. And of course, I've enjoyed being on the show myself. So once again, wishing you a happy first and looking forward to seeing you soon. But keep that good thing going.
Hey, this is Gianfranco from Pavilion Entertainment, and from all of us over here at Pavilion, we want to wish a congratulations and happy first anniversary to Studio 327 and the whole Good Morning SKN team. Happy anniversary.
as we celebrate our first anniversary, it would be remiss of us to give shout outs to some of the people who've helped to make this possible. Firstly, we thank Miss Patricia Walters of the Cable, who was the motivator behind us. Thank you so much, Miss Walters.
I'm waiting for the image of her with the strap. I'm kidding. Thank you. We'll have to wait for her. She's motivating, right? All right, so we have Karen Warner, who frequently joins in the fun and comments on our pages. So thanks, Karen Warner.
Thank you so much, Karen. Richard Grinaway, our #1 sharer. Thank you, Mr. Grinaway, for liking and sharing our pages and show. We truly appreciate all of you.
Wow, who is this? Who on earth is this? All right, so we've got Pat Bass for her supporting keen observations to make us better. Hey, Mom, apparently you got mentioned. All right, here you go.
Thank you, Ms. Bass. And thank you to our first female host, Mimi Armstrong, and also our co-hosts, Alicia Daniel Blake, Naima Hazel, Malia Erskine, and Malik. Thank you, thank you, thank
Malachi.
you. Malachi. Malachi, don't get me. I apologize for saying your name wrong. Why am I thinking Malik? Who's Malik? I don't even know. Malachi.
Yeah, love all of you. Alicia, I miss you. You know, she's been here for years. All right, so thanks to all of our past guests in the studio and virtually. Thanks for putting up with all of the mishap. You guys have no idea what we were talking about. Mishap. Hey, guess what?
Boy.
There have been
a few of those.
Some mishaps that you know nothing about. Do we need to list them? Should we list them for the first anniversary?
We just smile away,
guys. Or should we
guys.
just pretend like they never happened, right?
They never happened.
Because we've had mishaps, we've had green screen issues, we've had audio issues, we have people running in here screaming, we've had people that we're talking to that we can't hear. We've had all these other things going on.
But we make it work.
Endured the infomercial zone. Hey! All of that while, guess what? The mishaps are happening and you guys are not aware.
The internet not working with us.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. We've had it all.
Well, just talk to Ms. Walters. You know, maybe you can get better. I don't know. Because she's a motivator, right? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, you got flow.
He asked me to do something.
Flowing.
Okay. All right. And to our fans and viewers in the diaspora, thank you. Thank you for tuning in and choosing us to tune in choosing to tune in to us so that you can be kept informed of what's happening in your federation. Oh my gosh, the excitement.
Hey,
Thank
all
you.
I gotta say is the next person is the one who we see generally first in the mornings.
Yeah.
The show wouldn't be the same without her. We're talking about Sharina Mills, also known as Shine Millions, the biggest, hottest makeup artist in town. And you know, I said that today in a different way.
Can you say it in the way you would say it? Say it in the way you would
Sharina,
say
you're
it.
going to stop traffic today. Do not walk in town. That's what I said, literally, there this morning. All right. I said, you're going to cause traffic accidents. Anyway, thanks for making everyone look their best for TV. You do a really good job. And thanks to your backup, of course, we've had her. She's been really good as well.
Saida.
We've actually had two, Saida, and my personal backup, who's looking at me right now like, you dare call my name. And I didn't do it. Somebody else did.
Yes, she does a good job when Sharina is around for Jamie. How could I forget? Go, Lani. Go,
Or,
Lani.
no,
Yeah,
not when
Lani.
Sharina's not around. When Sharina has been hijacked by...
Yes, she does an excellent job.
Because it's not always when Sharina is here, you know what I mean? Oh, are you confessing to being hijacked?
I never said anything, I suddenly have the sniffles.
Suddenly. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Rolani.
And thanks to all of you who would have liked, subscribed, and shared our posts, videos and pages. I can't say how much we appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A big old thank you.
Well, you know what? We're only as good as our team, and we wouldn't be here without, we're here, you're seeing our faces, but you know what? It's a whole team effort. So we thank our creative, technical, and management teams for the daily effort and delivery, bringing GMSKN to the airwaves. You know, it wouldn't be the same without you. You
I think we
can
should
name them, but I think
people need to know who they are hiding behind the scenes.
No, but we've got other people here who've been advising us, and you know what? It would be remiss of us not to name them, I would say. So let's start with who we started with when we were here. We had people like Darryl and so on, right? And we had Stephen Smith helping us out, just to name a few. We've got our graphic artist now, who's really doing a really good job with the posts that you see.
Yes.
We've got our creative team here, our writers, our sound technicians, the guy that ensures that my jacket is straight. Lemuel, thank you so much. Finger up to
Jamie, your jacket's up.
all the people in the audio, Anthony, Clarique, Oksana, the whole team.
You
the
cannot
ambassador.
forget Naeem.
I cannot forget Naeem.
You cannot forget Naeem. Naeem, we miss you. Come back soon. Mm-hmm.
I love the way you say that, like you're recording a voice message.
Yes, Naeem, come back soon.
Yes, and Richie was here with us from the very beginning.
Alicia, Mimi.
Yes, of course, Mimi.
Who did we say Oksana and Clarique and everybody?
I just named them. I didn't say Anthony, did I?
Just making sure.
Anthony, definitely.
Karina, a sister, Naima. Wow, a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Naima. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people. Too many to name. But we thank you.
And Big G.
We thank you.
How could we forget Big G?
Thank you.
Thank you, Big G.
Who's Big G?
Who's Big G?
Who's Big G?
Big G.
It's like
the
a gangster sign or something? What's going on here? Big G? What? Are you terrified? Is this what's going on? We call her Big G because you guys are actually terrified of Big G coming through the door at any moment? Is that what's going on here?
Big
Can I get a yes? Okay. Alrighty. Big G.
Terrible. Guys, you should see the sound being thrown up. Sometimes I wish the camera could just spin on its own so you can see what's happening in here.
Oh, well, apparently management has asked that we read something else as is, so there are going to be no changes. I love this. It's actually, you can't see it. I'm going to make sure that I represent how it's written with my voice because it's in bold print. So here we go. And finally, management has asked that we read this as is. Here it is. Thank you to Jamie and Hortensia, the faces and personalities of GMSKN. Okay, I've complied. Can I do what I want to do with it now? Yeah, forget that. Here we go. All right. Thank you so very much. We'll be back in a moment with more GMSKN. Stay tuned.
No cash, no card, no problem. JAD. Embrace the freedom.
Greetings, Student 327, and good morning, SKN. This is Tal Batiste, one of your biggest fans, wishing you a happy first anniversary. What you're doing in SKN is phenomenal. Keep up the beautiful work. I'm really looking forward to seeing you soon again. But once again, happy first year. Keep pushing. You're doing all the right things.
Hey, this is Gianfranco from Pavilion Entertainment, and from all of us over here at Pavilion, we want to wish a congratulations and happy first anniversary to Studio 327 and the whole Good Morning SKN team. Happy anniversary.
Studio 327. This is Batiste, one of your biggest fans, just reaching out to wish you a happy first anniversary. You're doing a lot of things well. Keep on that trajectory. Greatness, greatness, greatness. I really enjoy tuning in. And of course, you know, I've enjoyed being on the show myself. So, once again, wishing you a happy first and looking forward to seeing you soon. But keep that good thing going.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Welcome back to our first anniversary show. Yes, December 6, 2022, and it's time to let you know what's happening.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I think we're having a technical glitch.
No love.
It is the first anniversary after all. Hey, we could bless this word.
First anniversary.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Technical glitch?
Guys, have you, see, this is me ignoring my co-host on this lovely first anniversary. Did you know? Yes, lean in with me. Keke Palmer is pregnant. Well, Keke Palmer proved the online rumor mill correct when she opened up a floor-length suit jacket to reveal her baby bump during her host monologue on the Saturday Night Live. So I guess this is a popular place for most of the persons to reveal they're pregnant, because Cardi B revealed she was pregnant there. There are a few others who I can't remember at the moment, so I'm not going to put my mind to shame. Yeah. So let's have a look at this reveal. Wonder she did this in the Beyonce style, you know? Yeah.
And I want to set the record straight. I am. There's some rumors going around. People have been in my comments saying Keke's having a baby, Keke's pregnant, and I want to set the record straight. I
But technically, you're not supposed to reveal that you're pregnant until her first trimester. So maybe that's what she was trying to keep it on the download until your first trimester has been completed.
No, she kept it on the wraps until she unwrapped. Or disrobed or whatever you want to say. That's what it is. All right, so that's what's happening with Keke Palmer.
So congrats, Keke. If you're watching this, give us a like, subscribe. Yeah, see you on the next show.
What's the probability that Keke's watching this Cortez?
You never know. If Keke gives me a shout out on TV, I'll say omit my co-host.
Moving on. Casting call. There is a casting call. Absolute Dominion, a new martial arts action drama produced by Blumhouse Television and Netflix, written and directed by Oscar nominee Lexi Alexander, whose work includes Marvel's The Punisher, Warzone, and episodes of Arrow and Supergirl. Lexi Alexander has tapped St. Kitts production house New Age Productions to contribute footage for this film, giving locals a chance to be featured in this action film as extras. So the shoot will take place at the Shadwell Great House on Saturday, December 10th, starting at 10:30 a.m. New Age is looking for about 100 persons, so you contact New Age or you just show up. Hey, you're extras. It'll be great, right? So go. Check it out.
You good?
It's gonna be great.
You never know, we might see your face.
Do you know something that I don't?
Alani's going as well. That's good. She's ready to face the camera.
Is this when finally everybody will know who Alani is? Because you've been mentioning Alani basically nearly all year now, and a lot of people still don't know who Alani is.
Don't worry, they're gonna know who's Alani's. Like the other day, they didn't tell me it was Alani's birthday. I guess because they know Cortensia like to shout out all of them on camera. But hey, happy belated to my lovely friend Alani. Yeah.
She's gonna make you pay for that. I already know that. But hey.
She loves me. She loves me, man. So, a dance recital on Sunday, the 11th of December, 2022 at 5 p.m. at the Marriott Ballroom. The Children's Dance stated that the CDT will be hosting a grand affair, giving awards to the greatest and most beloved that Christmas has to offer. CDT Director, Miss Julie Martin, and tutors Heidi Slack, Zia Claxton, Sonji Isaacs, Brianna Williams, Robertine Webb, and Nakira Nichols, along with their dancers, have compiled a list of all that makes Christmas nice, and you better believe they are checking it twice. So guys, make sure you're on the good list. The top contenders will be celebrated in dance and revelry and awarded in grand style by the theater's three groups, Sparks, Starlights, and Rockets, as well as the CDT alumni and special guest artists. Wow.
Awesome,
so go on out and support.
And a little birdie picked me on my ear and said that Cortensia will be dancing for us in this anniversary edition.
For real?
Did I get my signals crossed, or was that another technical glitch?
But
that was actually accurate.
We have to call in the angry little midget for that one.
Who wants to vote for that? You want to see Cortensia dance? Or do you want to see me mimic
Where's the
Cortensia's
footage
dancing?
of Jamie dancing
Which
when
one?
we were doing the TikTok dance? Can anybody play that today since it's our year one so they can see how well Jamie danced?
Yeah, right, whatever. It was weller than you, but hey, it worked.
No.
It was weller.
You know
weller,
what? I'm going to take
better,
up the
yeah.
challenge. When you see me here doing the best of what I know how to do best, don't be a hater, be a congratulator.
Wow.
Thank you.
Whatever that meant. Whatever that meant. All right, so guys, this is our first anniversary, and again, definitely thank you for joining us for another edition of GMSKN. It would not be the same without you.
Yes.
We are inviting you to tune in daily to find a little bit of everything. All of you collectively find a little bit of everything for everyone, but we're hoping that you find something that you enjoy. And also, we are encouraging you, we're 1 year in, 365 days later, to get your friends and family to watch us, if you can. We've already given shout outs to people who have contributed in one way or the other to ensuring that, you know, we do better, other people hear about us, we spread the word, etc. You know what? This is what I did not do, and I need to do it now. Although I thanked the guests for coming, I think that, in particular, going down memory lane, our very first guest 1 year ago was the Tour of Carnival, Shannon Hawley.
Okay.
So thanks to her, thanks to Mr. I'm trying to remember who else.
Who else was on that show, though, Jamie?
Samal Duggins. He wasn't honorable then. Well, he wasn't I can't say he wasn't honorable then. Let me correct that. Okay, he didn't have the title of honorable then. All right. So Samal, the honorable Samal Duggins, was there. Vincia. Okay, right.
Yeah,
so Vincia was also there.
Thank you.
And she's been here. I think she's been here a total of 2 times,
Yes.
probably. Right. So that's great. So we had 3 guests on that day. Great. Awesome. Hey, in true form, there's some stuff going on. You know, hey, mishaps happen all the time.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it was great the way that we started. You guys remember how it was, don't you? I'm sure that you can look back on it. We asked you for pictures of the sunrise. We had a nice little backdrop of St. Kitts that we got rid of.
Always asking for what's in your cup, and I still, a year later.
We had some earthquakes going on that we straightened out. You know, we recovered. We built back stronger. We're more resilient. We've gotten better as a team, and I think that, you know, shout out to the team for all the work that you do. It's a lot of hard work, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
You know, you see this coming to you in the mornings, and you think, oh, this is just what it is. It's only 2 hours, whatever. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and a lot of people who work hard at it that you never get to see, which is why every time I'm up here, I'm like, guys, can I turn the camera on you so that people know Oksana, what you do, Alani, what you do, Lemuel, what you do, Clarique, what you do, Anthony, what you do, and Alicia, when she was here, what she did. because there's a lot going on here and we wouldn't be the same without you. So thanks to all of you. Thanks to our viewers and, of course, you viewers. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Facebook and YouTube is at Studio 327 Inc. Instagram is easy. It's Good Morning SKN. Like, subscribe, follow, and share.
I wonder, did we get to 1,000? I forgot to check the amount of subscribers.
You're very ambitious, but no. I said you would be.
Oh my gosh.
You're close.
Guys, work with me. At least by the end of December, and we can still use those videos. Yes, today's the anniversary, but we can still use the videos afterwards. Remember, you can tell us how Studio 327 would have impacted you, what you would have learned, and for those of you who would have been guests on our show, how being on our show would have propelled you. So leave us a comment, yes, and let us know what was your favorite part of our first anniversary show. And yeah.
You auditioning for Broadway?
When I expect my co-host to join me in my celebrations, he just comes with me.
Oh.
So it's Tuesday, as we say, choose to be kind to someone, choose to smile, choose to spread some love. And thank you for choosing to celebrate with us once again. And see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, Wiscamus Wednesdays, Wishful Wednesdays, not knowing the lyrics to your song Wednesdays, yeah. So see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with Jamie and I and the rest of the crew right here at Good Morning SKN. As usual, thank you for watching and see you tomorrow on your favorite morning show, Good Morning SKN. And we will see you tomorrow again.
Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning, SKN.